Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Frenzy, the show the players watch while they're taking ice baths, and some even light a few candles to set the mood. Ooh. And tonight's mood is a bit somber as the high school football regular season comes to a close. Honestly, I've been talking about it so much this week, I'm starting to sound like a real Debbie Downer. So let's just enjoy the football while we have it with our Game of the Week presented by Ojibwa Casinos in Baraga and Marquette. It was the Escanaba Eskimos at home taking on the Red Hot Kingsford Flivers. First quarter, Kingsford decides to go deep early, but this pass is broken up oh so close. But the Flivers, they'd keep pushing. Soyu per pitch to Owen Petchar, and he finds pay dirt for 6 points as Kingsford lights up the scoreboard first. But the Eskimos would respond with their big man Cody Vandermissen tossing defenders like Andre the Giant. He finds the end zone and ties this game up at 7 apiece. A little later, Eskimos punting, Trevor Roberts slits past the blockers, gets a piece of the ball, rewards himself by falling on it in the end zone, touchdown Kingsford, and they would keep on scoring. Handoff to Roberts, and a few yards later, he's gonna find the end zone. It was 21-7 Flivers at the half, but Escanaba would storm back and hold on to win this slobber knocker of a game, 49-42 the final score. Let's go to the scoreboards. Menominee puts up 580 yards of offense as they beat Marquette 61-35. Kiefer Reisner channeled his inner Adrian Peterson tonight as he rushed for 365 yards and 5 TDs, a new Maroons rushing record, and the Westpac champs finished the season 8-1 as Calumet gets the win over Gladstone 24-6. The Braves finish with a 3-6 record, and next season they will join the Mid-Peninsula Conference. With a couple of these teams, let's go to Norway now as the Knights closed out the season at home against Iron Mountain. First quarter, Mountaineers looking to dent the scoreboard first. Gavin Wright trucking his way into the end zone with a little help from his friends. Iron Mountain up 7-0. Little later, Mountaineers with the ball, Aaron Bolo. He's going to throw this one. Check out this pick from Josh Plant. That's some QB on QB crime right there. However, Bolo and the Mountaineers would have the last laugh in this one as they get the win 28-7. We hop in the car and go north on M95, North Dickinson, looking for win number 6 on the year, taking on Barker Harris. First quarter, Nordics running their offense to perfection. Garrett O'Neill keeps it on the option, keeps his balance, and he would take it home for 6. 27 yards in all made it 6-0 ND. Nordics would go for 2. O'Neill not running, he's passing. Jared Miller hauls it in for 2. North Dickinson led 8-0 after 1. We go to the second. The Broncos with an answer. Jace Briggs finds his way home from 3 yards out. 2-point conversion was good. That tied the game at 8. The ensuing possession for North Dickinson. O'Neill on the play action fake. Rolls and rolls and rolls. Waiting, looking. Finally finds Max Williams for the 28-yard passing TD. O'Neill and the offense put up 56 points tonight to get the win. And North Dickinson is heading back to the postseason. More scores. St. Ignace ends the season with a bang as they knock off Newberry, 62-20, the final score. And West Iron County gets 3 touchdowns from Austin Giuliani as the Wycons knock off Lance 42-16 to punch their ticket to the playoffs. Let's go out west for the Copper Bowl. Houghton versus Hancock. First quarter, Houghton down 7-0. Jordan Reynolds is going to have a nice run to the far sideline, and he finds the end zone for the touchdown. 2-pointer good. Gremlins take a 1-point lead. The Bulldogs, they would hit back though. This pass goes to Grant Holgenson. He's going to break a couple tackles, drag a couple defenders with him into the end zone for Hancock's second touchdown of the night. It's now 14-8 Bulldogs, but the Gremlins kept feeding Reynolds. There he is again for 6. Houghton would retake the lead, but in the end, Hancock would go on to win the Copper Bowl 20-18, the final score. Now, Week 9 isn't done yet, though, as there will be a couple of games going on tomorrow. Gogebic hosts Ironwood, and Manistee will take on Mendon. Also, Lakeland and Hubble will be at home against Munising. The Lakes are looking for their second consecutive undefeated regular season, and with a win, they will have sole possession of the Mid-Eastern Conference Championship. We have reached halftime on this edition of Friday Night Frenzy. Still to come, the 2-minute drill, as we hear from Escanaba head coach Dave House about tonight's game against Kingsford. We'll be right back with more on Friday Night Frenzy. Hey, you came back. Well, let's get right into the 2-minute drill presented by UP Health System Rehab Services and UP Rehab Services. They get you back in the game. Our guest tonight is Escanaba head coach David Howes, and I spoke to him after tonight's big win over Kingsford.
All right, Coach. Unbelievable performance. I guess what are your initial reactions going through a game like that put you through so many different emotions?
Yeah, that was a roller coaster. Kingsford's a great team. Coach Hofer does a great job year in, year out. Had some turnovers in the first half, down 14 points, and we talked to the kids at halftime, made some adjustments, and said, remember what happened last year in Kingsford? We came back, had a great second half. We're going to do this second half too, and there we were.
What was something that worked for you guys more? Because 7 points in the first half, and then to end the game with like 49. What was clicking for you guys in the second half?
Yeah, we said we got to stop going with our pro style or inside strike. So we just went spread formations, and we hit a couple bubble passes, and opened up our inside running game, and our quarterback had a great second half. He had guys on the stride. Things just clicked offensively. We started throwing the ball a lot better than we have all season.
It's looking like a playoff spot is pretty much locked up. You'll find out for sure on Sunday. What is your confidence level? What is the team's confidence level right now going forward into the playoffs?
Yeah, it has to be sky high. We played Merrill, which is a great team last week, and Kingsford now. Those are two competitive teams. Going into the playoffs after a win, it's going to be a huge momentum swing. Like I said, our players are pumped up, coaches are pumped up, our community and school, we're all going to be pumped up. We're very excited to hopefully host the game.
All right, big thanks to Coach Howes for being on with us. All right, we have a lot of college action to get to, which is brought to you by Northern Michigan Bank and Trust. We begin with the Wildcats volleyball team, who are back from an impressive showing at the GLVC GLIAC Crossover Tourney. Tonight, they hosted Ohio Dominican at Vandeman Arena. The Lady Wildcats come into tonight's matchup with a 4-4 conference record and wanted to push that to above 500. Panthers would take the first set, so NMU would come out attacking in the second. Madison Whitehead with the spike there gets the point for the Wildcats. A little later, it's Rachel Braunschweig to Marta Fraga Guntin with the floater. Nice play there as Northern grabs an early lead. Ohio Dominican now on the serve. Autumn Mansma to Jamie Hogeboom to Whitehead. Poetry in motion. NMU would take the second set 25-22, and they would go the distance in this one, but the Lady Wildcats would lose a heartbreaker 3-2 the final score. It was a nail-biter in Houghton, too, as the Lady Huskies needed 5 sets to top Lake Erie 3-2. Aubrey Fissick had 27 kills, and Macaulay Peterson had 22 of her own. Women's soccer now, and what a thriller it was for NMU as the Lady Wildcats get the win in double OT over Tiffin 2-1. Casey Duran scored the game winner for NMU. Amy Cola had the other Wildcat goal. The Lady Huskies were shut out at home by Ashland 2-0 the final there. And in men's soccer, the Wildcats were at home against Tiffin, and they fall to the Dragons 2-1. Odin Am scored the lone goal for the Wildcats. They will be back in action Sunday as they host Findlay. WCHA hockey action tonight. NMU in Big Rapids taking on Ferris State. The Wildcats were down 4-2 after one period, and they stormed back to score 4 unanswered goals to get the win 6-4. Darian Craighead had 2 goals for NMU. Also scoring were Denver Pierce, Philip Starzinski, Colin Peters, and Luke Volton. As for the Huskies, they fall 4-3 to Michigan. Alex Gillies, Alex Smith, and Reed Sturos scored for MTU. Both of these matchups will have an encore tomorrow night. The Northern Michigan football team is back from their 2-game road trip, and it's one of those trips you just want to forget about. The Wildcats fell to Saginaw Valley State and Ferris State, dropping their record to 3-3 in the conference. This week, they'll look to turn things around as they battle Ohio Dominican.
I think they're a solid football program. I think they're a bona fide, solid football program. I think they do some really good things. They play tough, and I think they do things the way it's supposed to be done. It's going to be a great football game on Saturday.
The Wildcats are in a good position to finish the season with a winning record, as the next 3 games will be inside the confines of the Superior Dome, and Coach Ostrowski is very excited about that.
I think from a football program perspective, we've been a special team here in the Dome. I don't think anybody would deny that in the last 2 years. The games we've lost have been thrillers to the end against some of the best teams in the country. So we're excited to be here. I'm not really too concerned with being on the road for a while. We've got 3 weeks at home, so we're going to take 1 week at a time, get prepared to win games.
Kickoff for the game is set for 1 p.m. As for Finlandia, they will be back at home this weekend after a three-game road trip. They will host Maranatha Baptist University at 1 o'clock. The Lions, they're still looking for their first win of the season, but it was against MBU that they got their first win in program history last season. And for the Huskies, they will head out this weekend on their final road trip away from the UP this season as they take on Northwood. The Timberwolves are 1-6 on the season, but 4 of their losses were very close and against very good teams. This is a squad that head coach Tom Curley is not overlooking.
They're a good, solid football team. You know, you sound like a broken record, but week in and week out, you know, in this league, anybody can beat anybody. You know, last week they went at Ohio Dominican and played really, you know, sound football against a good quality team. So, you know, they're a handful, as is everybody in our league. You know, if you don't play, if you aren't ready with your A game in this league, you're going to get beat.
Also, it was announced this morning that due to health issues and doctor's instructions, Coach Curley will not be traveling with the team this weekend. Defensive coordinator Steve Olson will serve as the interim head coach for Saturday's game, which has a scheduled kickoff of 1 p.m. On the D1 level, the number 3 ranked team in the nation, Michigan, will be at the Big House tomorrow to take on Illinois. Kickoff set for 3:30 on the Big Ten Network. Michigan State will look to snap a 4-game losing streak on the road tomorrow night against Maryland. Kickoff scheduled for 7:30 p.m. And in the NFL, the Lions will wrap up a 3-game homestand as they host Washington. Kickoff set for 1 o'clock. Detroit will be severely shorthanded as Theo Riddick, Eric Ebron, Haloti Ngata, and DeAndre Lovey will all miss Sunday's game. And don't forget, Sunday night at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Detroit is the MHSAA High School Football Selection Show, where the teams will find out if they made the playoffs and who they will face. We'll have a full recap of all the UP games on Monday. There's going to be favorites, there will be underdogs, but it's like I always say, anyone with 2 hands has a fighting chance. That'll do it for me tonight. On this edition of Friday Night Frenzy, here's a look at tonight's top plays. Jimmy Kimmel's next here on ABC 10. From all of us here at the station, have a great night and a great weekend.